Good afternoon and welcome to today's Q&A. I am Hannah Satterwhite. I'm the Assistant Director of Advocacy and Education at St. Louis ARC. And today's Q&A is about Disability Rights Legislative Day 2026. We'll talk a little bit about what that event is, what to expect during the day, and I'll also give you some information for how you can stay tuned in if anything, if there are any new newsworthy notes that you'll want to follow for DRLD. Disability Rights Legislative Day is 25 years old in 2026. So please, if you haven't already, feel free to save the date for February 25th, 2026. That will be the 25th year that advocates have gone to the Capitol for a rally for disability rights under the name Disability Rights Legislative Day. I'm sure there were advocates that attended other events and meetings at the Capitol before that, but this is, how long this specific event has been around. So 25 years is a really cool accomplishment. So what is DRLD? If you're not familiar, Disability Rights Legislative Day, often called DRLD, is an event where you get to go to the Capitol and have a rally for disability rights. So for 25 years, disability advocates from around Missouri have traveled to the state capitol to participate in Disability Rights Legislative Day to have their voices heard. The event this year will be held in person and virtually. People with disabilities, their family members, and others, including support staff or other allies, can participate regardless of where they live in the state. The more people that participate, the more we can advocate for what's important to us and show legislators why disability issues and our stories matter. And a little image description. I have also shared an image of the Capitol Rotunda. You can see the first floor and the second floor. There are over 100 people seated in the rotunda area. This is the area that you will be in if you do attend in person. Right when you walk into the Capitol, you'll see seats. There are not seats enough for absolutely everyone who attends the day, which is why you can kind of see there are some people on the second floor and up on the third floor looking down. So if you do want to make sure that you have a seat close to the rally, be sure to get there as early as you can. But this is a little bit of what the day looks like. Locations for the rally. If you want to attend in person, the rally will be held at the Missouri State Capitol building. That's in Jefferson City, Missouri. So if you live here in St. Louis, that means you'll have approximately a 2-hour drive, depending on where you're coming from. Could be a little bit less than that, could be a little bit more. If you cannot make it in person, you're welcome to attend virtually. DRLD.org has a sign-up link that will allow you to access the Zoom. So there will be an email sent out for a Zoom live stream link. That rally is from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. So you can watch from anywhere you are, or you can also host a party, watch with your friends, things like that. So here's the schedule of events if you do attend in person, because there's a lot more than just the rally. So you'll want to arrive sometime between 8:30 and 10:45-ish in the morning. The Capitol building opens, I think, at 8 a.m. So if you really want to be an early bird, you're welcome to arrive as early as 8 a.m., but there won't be any events going on until 9. So when you arrive, you will come in and you're welcome to attend the Advocacy Resource Fair. There will be statewide tables for advocacy resources. So that will be resources that apply to anyone in the state. So you won't find a lot of local and regional resources at that resource fair. It'll mostly be related to advocacy and things that anyone can participate in the state. Those will be upstairs. So you can make your way to the resource fair and look through those booths while you wait for the rally to start, or you can just go straight to taking your seat and getting ready for the rally. The official rally is from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. in the first floor rotunda. There will be a stage with speakers and a sound system, and you'll also see screens with captions. This will also be live streamed. So the live stream event is the 1 hour rally event. During the rally, there will be quite a few speakers that talk about disability rights related topics. It could be that they talk about specific legislation. They might talk about issues that we see across the state. They could talk about self-advocacy, really anything related to disability and disability rights. So those speakers are being screened right now as we speak, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in another slide or two. You will be responsible for having lunch on your own, which means that there's no lunch provided by the event, but you can bring a sack lunch. I recommend that people plan ahead and either bring some money to purchase a lunch downstairs in the cafe or bring a lunch on your own so that you are ready to eat lunch after the rally or whenever works for you. Then the resource fair will continue from 12 to 2 on your own. You can kind of peruse those booths, and or you are welcome to set a legislator visit so that you can connect with your representative or your senator, tell them why you're there, and talk to them a little bit about what's important to you as their constituent. DRLD does not have set priorities. Their goal is to bring people with disabilities and other allies together so that we increase visibility for people with disabilities in the Capitol. So it's really important that we have a lot of people reaching out to their legislators. One misconception is that some people think that DRLD will set up their legislator visit for them. Unfortunately, because of the amount of people that go to this event, the planning committee doesn't have the ability to set each of those meetings. If you attend with an agency that is an organized event, it is likely that someone will set up group meetings for you, but you'll want to reach out to that person and make sure if you're attending with a group, you'll want to make sure that they are setting up legislator visits for the group. If you're going on your own or with your family or your staff, I will talk a little bit more about how to set up a legislator visit after this. Okay, so first of all, how do I register? If you're going in person, you can register as a group or as an individual. You do not have to register to attend, so they won't check your registration at the door. But the bonus for why you would want to register is that you'll get personalized emails about any updates. So that could be really helpful if you're trying to keep up with how do I engage with the event, or maybe there's a training that I want to attend ahead of time to make sure that I'm ready for the day. Registering on drld.org makes sure that you have an email tied to the event. Also, it helps the planning committee to estimate how many people will be attending. It is likely that there will be 300 plus people in the building that day. If you want to attend online, you really do need to register at this link because they will send you the Zoom information via email. So drld.org, and then up at the top of that website, there will be a bar that says register to attend. You can also follow drld.org for any updates. You can check that website at any point, and you can follow Disability Rights Legislative Day on Facebook, and there will be updates there as well if you have a Facebook. All right, so if you are attending, you know that you have a ride and you know you have a way to get there, and you want to go an extra step and you would like to participate in the event, you can do that. You can apply to be a rally speaker or an Access Team volunteer. So I'll talk a little bit about what those two groups are. The Access Team is a group of volunteers who get a t-shirt and lunch provided for them if they participate. They are self-advocates with lived experience, and lived experience in this case just means that they have experience with having a disability. These are people who I would say it's best if you have attended an event at the Capitol before, because then you can really, really help others navigate the day. You also learn how to build your leadership skills. You can help others navigate DRLD, and it's just a really good experience to volunteer with this event. You will attend a training if you're selected. That'll be virtual, and I'll be there to support that group. So if you know me, you'll see me there, and I'll be one of the people that will help you find your volunteer position. So some examples of what those volunteers might do. There's a chance you'll be placed at a specific location. Maybe you're by the front doors, maybe you're by the elevators, and you will show people to their seats, show people where the rally is going to happen. They might ask you to come with them to a legislator visit. If you feel really confident about doing a legislator visit with someone else, you might go to support someone else. But either way, you will have a virtual training to help you to know exactly what you will be doing that day. You can apply at drld.org, and I've linked this in the PowerPoint. So if you want to share your story or advocate on a specific topic, you can apply to be a rally speaker. These are very brave folks who are ready to speak in front of 300 or so attendees. So if you do this, just know you are braver than I am, because I think that would really scare me. But I know that there are so many of you that are really fabulous speakers and have a lot to say, and a lot of really important advocacy topics to address. So you could be a self-advocate, a professional in the field, a direct support professional, a caregiver, an ally. You could speak as a duo or as a family. This is really your opportunity to decide what you want to say and how you want to say it. And you are welcome to have support while you're up there. Speakers talk for about 3 minutes. They will have a microphone available to them, and they can utilize technology as they need. For instance, if you use a communication device, you're welcome to use that technology to do your speech. You'll choose a topic related to disability rights, and the application requires you to share a little bit about what you'll speak about. They will use the application to decide who is speaking at the actual event, and that's also on drld.org. And if for some reason you're not selected this year, don't let that discourage you. You can definitely apply again next year. So how do I set a meeting with my legislator? If you want to attend Disability Rights Legislative Day and you have never set a meeting with your legislator, you want to start by finding who your legislator is. So I've included a link here. The Senate, Missouri Senate webpage has a legislator lookup tool that is really helpful. All you do is type in your address, and once you include your address, it will pull up your state and your U.S. Elected officials. So for the purposes of Disability Rights Legislative Day, you're going to want to look for your state senator and your state representative. Those are the people who work in Jefferson City, and those are the people who you'll find when you attend this day. So the web page will pull up all of the names of your legislators. If you click on the hyperlink of their name, it will take you to their website. Their website will have a phone number for their office, and it will list their email. So all you have to do is email or call their office and say that you are a constituent, you are attending Disability Rights Legislative Day on February 25th, 2026, and you would love to set a meeting with them in their office. You can also set a virtual meeting with them if you aren't attending in person, and that could be on any day, really. If you want to set a meeting that's not on this day, you're welcome to. Those meetings will be short. They'll likely be 15 minutes or less. So if you do successfully set up a meeting with your legislator, you'll want to have you want to practice or have a little bit of information that you feel you can share in 5-10 minutes or so, and then allow them to ask some questions if need be. So I usually recommend that people share who they are, a little bit of information about them, where they live. If you are a constituent of theirs, which means if you live in their district, you'll want to tell them that. That'll be important for them to know. And then if there's anything that you find could be made better in their district, you can share concerns, you can share ideas. It's really your chance to let them know what's important to you and what you would like to see them do and how they can support you. And feel free to follow up by email later with more information if they have questions for you. Again, if you need help with this process, you can reach out to me and my email will be at the end of this presentation. Here are some other basic tips. So if you haven't been before, it can be a little bit hectic. So it's great to plan ahead. If you do plan to attend in person, allow plenty of time for parking. There is some paid parking close to the Capitol. There are also some free parking lots down the hill from the Capitol, but it's a little bit of a steep walk if you do plan to park in the free lot and then make your way up the hill. The Capitol is on a hill, so just be aware of that. Passengers can absolutely be dropped off at the Circle Drive in front of the Capitol building, and then you can make your way in, or you can wait for your driver to park and come to you. But just note that if you need support to get in the building and your driver is that support person, that it just could take some time to find adequate parking. That's one of the tough parts about hosting any event in this building, is that the Capitol is not the best for parking. So just plan ahead. You also will want to plan to wait in line when you do arrive. Because hundreds of people attend this event, there's often a line in the front door as people go through security. Everyone will go through a brief security check as they enter the building. Usually what that looks like is you just, walk through a scanner, or you can bring your wheelchair through a scanner, your walker through a scanner. It's not as intense as TSA at the airport, so it's pretty simple and usually pretty quick, but you wouldn't want to bring weapons into the building or things like that that could hold you up at the scan. Usually, I have had questions before, will my wheelchair set off the scanner because it has metal? It usually is not a problem to have metal come through, and they can usually see what it is, and it's not usually an issue. Feel free to bring your mobility aids, anything that will help you to navigate the day. There might be a lot of standing involved, so even if you only use a wheelchair sometimes, it might be helpful to bring one, a walker, etc., a cane, anything else you might need for a mobility aid. There could be a lot of walking involved if you do end up going to legislator visits, so just plan ahead for that. Feel free to bring sensory aids as well, noise-canceling headphones, anything else that you might need. I didn't put it on here, but a water bottle is always a good choice. There are water fountains, but I always like to encourage people to bring a water bottle. Lunch. Lunch is on your own. DRLD does not provide lunch, so please plan to have a lunch with you. You can bring a sack lunch that doesn't need to be heated up. There will not be adequate opportunities to microwave your food, so I would bring something that doesn't need to be microwaved if possible. There is a cafe in the basement level of the Capitol building, but as we know, with hundreds of people in the building, you could wait in line if you decide to do that. But bring money if you feel like that's your best option. You're also welcome to leave and come back. Or if you decide to leave after the rally, you could go have lunch and then decide that you're done with your day if you don't have any legislator visits to attend. It's really up to you. After the rally, your schedule is completely on your own to decide what you want to do. So restrooms, there are restrooms located throughout the building on each level. So there will be restrooms on every floor. The most accessible restroom is going to be the family restroom, which is in the basement level of the building. You can take an elevator to get there. Hopefully, we'll have some access team members and DRLD volunteers that can point you in the right direction if you need support finding that. This family restroom has a Hoyer lift. That's something that was added in the past year due to advocacy from some of our advocates. You must bring your own sling if you would like to use that Hoyer lift. They do not have one there for sanitary reasons. So be sure if you're someone who might use that Hoyer lift, feel free to bring your own sling with you and you can utilize the lift to use the restroom during the day. There will also be a sensory space this year outside of the DRLD rally in a traveling van. So if you need to take a break and visit the sensory space, you're welcome to do that. There are also some very kind legislators that have offered their office as a break spot in case the rally gets really overwhelming and a couple people need to pop in and just have a little bit of quiet space. So we're doing our best to make sure that there's some sensory friendly options for folks. So DRLD, the official planning committee of volunteers, are hosting a training. Missouri Developmental Disabilities Council is who is the official host of this one. So it's not a St. Louis ARC training. This will be more statewide. This will be a great opportunity to learn about the event details for Disability Rights Legislative Day. So they may share even more detailed information than this Q&A. That will be February 10th at 11 a.m. on Zoom. And there is a QR code that you can scan right now, or you can scan it once you get the copy of this PowerPoint. And you can also follow the link on this slide, the bit.ly link for the DRLD training. If you can't come, you can still RSVP to that training and you can watch the recording later. They'll talk about all these things and more. So they'll talk about parking tips, accessibility, etc. So it's a really good idea to join that training if you can. So to keep up with any news about DRLD, pay attention to the drld.org website. If you RSVP, you will get emails from them. So it's really, really handy to RSVP as soon as you know you'll be able to attend. Or you can follow them on Facebook at Disability Rights Legislative Day. If you have questions, especially regarding how to set up a meeting with your legislator, or anything else about the ARC specific attendees, please feel free to email me. My email is hsatterwhite@slark.org. I also get emails for advocacy@slark.org if you can't remember my name. Advocacy@slark.org goes to me as well. So you can feel free to reach me there. And these are some of the sponsors of this year's event. These agencies all help to put on the event so that we have technology and accessibility and people can find it. And St. Louis ARC is one of those sponsors. So St. Louis ARC makes sure that people can access this day every single year. So we really appreciate being a partner. And I'm going to take a look at the Q&A. Any idea why DRLD is always in a cold month? They can have iffy weather. So DRLD historically has been celebrated in March, and the reason they started it in early March was because of Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month, which is March. So that was originally why it started in March, and they usually held it in the first or second week of March before spring break, before legislators were gone. It has slowly migrated around between early March and late February. There's no reason why it couldn't move to a different month in the future, but that is historically why. Usually it was about the first week of March, and it can be iffy. Last year it was like 60 degrees, and so you never know. It could be warm. If you can't make it in February, Are there other group opportunities to go to Jefferson City to advocate? Great question. So there are a few opportunities to attend if you are a participant with St. Louis ARC. Um, Please feel free to email me at hsatterwhite@slark.org or at advocacy@slark.org if you want to elaborate on this question, or if you have I don't know, because you're anonymous on the Q&A, I don't know if you're coming from St. Louis or if you're a person that's familiar with the ARC. But yes, there are several groups around the state that do advocacy days that you can sign up for. Kids Win Missouri is one that does a children's related advocacy day. MODE is also children and caregivers of people with disabilities. They do several advocacy days that focus on IEP reform and things of that nature. There are other groups that host advocacy days throughout the year that if you follow them, they post about those. So you can sign up to attend. Sometimes those events include transportation and sometimes they don't. But if you want more information about how to attend with the ARC, reach out to me directly and I can loop you in. There could be some opportunities with Gateway Coalition of Service Providers, which is a local regional group of service providers, and I can connect you with those groups. But you can also attend if you decide to go on your own. You can attend on your own any day that the Capitol is open. They are open all year round except for certain state holidays. And you can take a tour. You can register on their website to sign up for a free tour at any point. You can meet with your legislator in their office in Jefferson City from January through May. And you can certainly meet with them in their district, like June through the holiday season when they're in town. So if you live in St. Louis, you can invite your legislator for coffee or to learn more about your services here in district. Okay, another person asked, what do I wear? That's a great question. I would recommend wearing anything that you're comfortable in. It's okay to wear jeans or tennis shoes. I would wear footwear that is very comfortable for you to get around the building. But some people do like to dress up a little bit more formal or business casual. You're welcome to honestly wear anything that makes you feel your most confident. So if you decide to dress up a little bit, that's completely fine, but I would just emphasize wearing footwear that is comfortable for you to get around in, especially if you're standing or walking a lot. And some groups may decide to make t-shirts. If you're going with a group, there's a chance they may either make t-shirts for the day or you could wear an advocacy related slogan. I would just tend to avoid anything that seems, violent or includes curse words. Probably avoid those things, but you really can dress any way that makes you feel most confident and comfortable.